opportunity to have tea, coffee, I hope. Nice. Do we have adequate mics around the table? Yeah, that's good. There's one more chair here. One of you could kindly come and make yourselves comfortable here. Are you happy there? Somebody's just coming in. Mr. Javed. Good evening. Welcome at the very outset. It's delightful to have all of you here join us. And it's a pleasure to be able to look forward, really. Do I need the mic? I don't think so. Yeah, can you please remove this? See, I'm loud and clear like this. Where was I? I'm sorry. To help you accelerate incremental outcomes. And on behalf of Dell Technologies and Strategink, I'd like to extend a very formal and very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you very much. My name is Arjun Vishwanathan. I'm the Chief Knowledge Officer at my own company, which is a company by the name of Strategink. And I'm going to be your host today. And one of the reasons you don't see me sitting is because it's fundamentally going to be my job to walk around and understand from each of you what your outlook for 2022 and beyond is, especially from the lens of the perspective of technology. So the conversation today over, let's say, the next hour and a half, and we'll see how that goes. I would encourage each of you to participate as much as is possible because, let's face it, at the end of the day, you guys and you folks in your organizations want to grow. And we've got Dell Technologies here that holds the promise of enabling and assisting you to grow. And it is only when the confluence of those two aspects happen that the resurgence of industry as a whole, especially in the small business sector, is going to be possible. So there are a couple of ground rules, there are absolutely no rules. You've got mics kept everywhere. Please feel free to pick up the mic and share your insights and thoughts, because the way I'm going to be conducting this session over the next 90 minutes is to go around the table and ask each of you, first to introduce yourselves, and then, Mr. Dhawan, for example, can we get you a mic? Mr. Dhawan, you're from Punchline Energy. My basic and most primal question to you right at the beginning is, how were the last 2 years? There's obviously been immense and tons of learnings. And as you sit in July of 2022, what do you look ahead at from the perspective of technology? Sanjay ji. Is this on, please? No, you are saying yes won't help.
See, very frank, last 2 years have been very, very trying.
Indeed.
Particularly for our company, we are transiting from one business to the other. We've been a solar company.
Solar company.
Yeah. And we've been focusing only on one niche within the solar segment, that is solar pumps.
Okay.
So much before COVID happened, the business model itself was changing.
Mm.
So for various reasons, we tried to sort of tapered down that business, and we started working on EVs.
Mm.
So within that segment also, I'm working on a very small part of components
Okay.
around control systems
Okay.
for EVs. Because it was too loud there, so I was
Yeah.
away. Yeah. So I personally see that we are looking at a CAGR of 100% plus kind of a thing.
Brilliant.
But we haven't gone commercial as yet.
Okay.
So we are investing as of now, very hopeful. Abhay helps me in understanding technology, looking at what's the way forward and stuff like that. So we are presently engaged in creating a platform where we can onboard a lot of people, because we believe that in the EV segment, service is going to be probably the key.
Indeed.
Yeah. And we are preparing for that.
That's actually very fascinating. Abhijit, considering you're at the heart of all that is technology at Punchline Energy, what's your view? How do you think technology, and if I may be allowed to, in a very considered manner, phrase the question in the following manner. If you were to boil down the learnings of the last 2 years, fundamentally March till March, April, and you're sitting in July today, if you were to condense the learnings of the last 2 years and be able to apply all of that towards the future and making the future slightly, in fact, significantly more resilient as well as resolute, what would you say from a technology point of view has seriously and really helped you?
See, technology as such, overall, it has helped.
Okay.
Not just a particular segment or anything that we can talk about. Implementation of technology in different sectors, which now everybody wants to get into it.
Of course.
There's no area which is left out of technology. So even in our sector, we incorporated the newer models which are there.
New models of devices.
Not just devices, the platforms we are working on, the new technologies, the software backend that we are using, the research work that we are doing. So integrating whatever new things which have come up. See, but my belief is prior to last 2 years, things were almost stagnant. The technology was stagnant. People were just trying to push whatever old technologies were there, they were just pushing it. So, but within the last 2 years, old technology has just vanished, and whatever is there is what is the latest in the market and which is going to grow. So this is what is there.
No, I couldn't agree with you more because, Mayank, if I could come to you, it's also very interesting, isn't it, is that as businesses tend to modernize and achieve at least a semblance of what is called digital native thought, it's equally important for the technology to also be modernized. In that sense, how do you look at the modernization of technology at Amaze Technology, for example?
Modernization will be, in such a way that enables all end user to do remote working first of all.
Indeed.
And that's a major, change that we can see here.
Mayank, if I may be allowed to just add on to my question, and with your permission for sure, which is that, see, you spoke about remote work. Is it perhaps also true that the job role that existed for one of your employees maybe 2 years back, today stands very radically changed? And therefore, the need for that employee to have a more powerful machine, if you're expecting the levels of productivity that we are expecting today, in that sense, how do you see modernization? Is it, see, people have grown, people have evolved, situations have evolved, the technology has obviously evolved. In that sense, how do you see the whole thing playing out?
So you want to have the, more discussions about the support system for the, end user, where the remote working is happening. Of course, the, in order to understand the question that you've just asked.
You see, okay, let me rephrase this. See, what I'm essentially trying to bring out is that, see, about 2 years back, I was doing a set of activities, and then the lockdown hit us, and I realized that once we were sitting at home, there's significantly more that my organization started expecting from me. At that point in time, I realized that, look, as employees evolve, as the concept of work evolves, and as the whole concept of technology evolves, all of them must come together for you as an organization at Amaze to be able to build a more incremental future. So in that sense, I was coming to, how do you see your employees today being given the kind of technology that will help them perform more.
Of course, they are more flexible now,
Indeed.
and the productivity is obviously there, that is increased. We can see that an IT evolved itself. This, in IT evolved in itself, that we can see all over the sectors that, giving this kind of flexibility to end user. So the same happening with our platform as well, the same.
Very interesting. And for Mayank, before I move on to the rest of the room, are there any challenges that you face? Are there things that, from a tech perspective, are there things that worry you sometimes? Saying, I wish this problem would go away. I wish this could get solved.
Data, first of all, the security, data security that we are concerned with. That's something, the financials that we share. That's something particularly I can say.
Very interesting. No, very interesting. Shailesh ji? That's perfectly okay. Indeed, sir. And by the way, gentlemen, there's no real count of the points I'm going to be visiting. Please feel free. You've got mics. Please feel free to jump in. Imagine it's a roller coaster for the next 90 minutes. So,
As far as the challenge is concerned, the major challenge which right now is, which like I was discussing with Swati also,
Okay.
is the availability of your support from Dell.
Oh.
That's a real challenge as of today. Not just Dell, it is across the brands. But since we are here for Dell, the support has, I would say, the effectiveness of the support has really gone down. People have to wait for weeks and weeks to get the things rectified, and ultimately we have to suffer. So there are times then a person starts looking in for alternatives also.
That's a standard rule of life.
So that's it, and this has been happening for almost last year or so, and it's still there. It's not that things are better. Still, the things are same.
I see. That's actually a valid point, and thank you for bringing that up. But gentlemen, why don't you, sir? I don't see your. If you could introduce yourself, because we don't have a name.
Hi everyone, my name is Rajiv.
Rajiv, what are some of the challenges that you see from a tech point of view? And yet, what are also the opportunities that you observe that need to be seized?
I don't find any challenges right now.
Lovely.
And the only challenge is the sales point. The price going high.
Sorry?
Prices are going high.
Prices are going high.
Last year there's not a slight change, there's a 30% of change of pricing. I think that Dell is greedy right now.
That's a very considered statement. I'll take that at face value. Sir, ye thoda paas le aaiye. Yeah, you.
And above all, one of my friend Abhay ji ने अभी एक question raise किया है कि support का. I don't find any problem with the support. They have some priority supports. It might be possible you are in the remote site, but I am very happy with the support.
Well, that's very nice. And is there anything particularly quantifiable that you'd like to point out which makes you happy about the support, hypothetically?
Their response time,
Oh, lovely.
and they have some exceptional things. I'm working for the last 26 years, and they give you a call.
Okay.
Sir, is this rectified? I now give a call. मतलब कि उनका call अपने आप आता है. They share their personal numbers.
Oh, ये तो बड़ी
So
अच्छी
I
बात
don't
है.
find any problem with the support. Support is it might be possible some of the reasons support is making feel bad for some of the persons, some of the clients. But we don't find any issues over there.
That's fantastic. Charanjit ji, what are your views, if you could?
Good evening, all of you.
You're from Sites, have I pronounced?
Charanjit Juneja from Seeds Technologies.
Seeds Technologies.
India Private Limited. It is basically a manufacturing industry. We are the tractor parts manufacturer.
Tractor parts manufacturing, okay.
Yes. Basically, during COVID times, the major problems we faced, like suddenly when first lockdown was in place, so all were in their homes. Now, how to start, how to do meetings. So,
शुरुआत कैसे करें?
when the first lockdown was there, recently, few months back, we switch on to Microsoft Teams.
I see.
But during lockdown, nobody knows about how to use Teams. So during that time, IT performed very vast role by providing trainings to all the employees. Suddenly किसी ने कभी घर से काम किया नहीं था तो एकदम से मतलब करना पड़ा. HR has to release the salaries.
Bilkul.
It was the March end, and finance has to prepare all the financial statements year ending. So during that time, lots of trainings were there. Problems in network connectivity, na, and lack of devices.
Lack of devices, okay.
Na. Somebody, some has their own laptops, private laptops. Then how to connect through VPN?
So fundamentally, Charanjit ji, if I gather what you're saying कुछ situations होते हैं जहाँ पे you would look forward to having somebody support you with advice, knowledge, and जहाँ जहाँ थोड़ा बहुत technology की जरूरत पड़े वहाँ पे plug and play भी कर दे. Fundamentally, that's it, isn't it?
Right.
Excellent. So, you anybody else, sir? Mr. Tiwari. Is this on, please?
Yeah. So, what Rajiv said, I really like to add a point to it.
Please do, sir.
You know, when we were working remotely, we faced a challenge that there was only like, there are 2 devices in the house and there were 4 people working or 3 people working.
True.
You know, when we are in the office, suppose we 5 other colleagues, if one device goes down, then somebody jumps into the other device, let's work together, you know, we share and do the things. That doesn't happen when you are in the remote place. So probably what Abhay said was that, you know, there was a downtime or, you know, the time was longer. I don't think so, because time could be the same, but because it was, we were not the isolated places, we were in the remote places, we could feel that, you know, the time was more, you know, the Dell was taking more time or any other service provider taking more times. So that was one part. And the second important thing, what I felt during, like, we work on the safety tech side.
Okay.
So for us, it was a big boon. That was I was sharing with the Dell people. You know, we had a good revenue last year. Instead of like for others, it was a sad time, but for us, it was a good time because we were selling the safety tech.
Okay.
So, and at that point of time, Dell gave a good support in the work and everything.
So if you were to now stand today, what's your expectation from Dell Technologies as you go forward?
I will talk on the small business side.
Indeed so.
For the small businesses, CapEx is a big issue. You know, capital expenditure is a big issue.
True.
So if Dell can move from CapEx to OpEx, if you have any model like that, I don't know. But if Dell can move on that side, like for an example, if Dell can give laptops, 10 laptops to any small business for 2 years, it's a hypothetical example.
True.
They can charge, you know, because it's a Dell laptop, they can ask for the depreciation for next 2 years, and with the reduced cost, if they can make a contract that, you know, that small business after 2 years they can buy those laptops. So the small business will not have that hit. So if you can move from CapEx to OpEx, it will be a very good leverage for all the small scale industries and for the small business people, even to SME level. Sorry,
Understood.
So that's a small thought which I just...
Are there others that echo this thought on the CapEx versus OpEx? You do? So, if you could pass in the mic. Oh, Ajay, yeah. And why do you feel that, sir?
As he said, you know, it is a big investment for any company. So that would really help in terms of budgeting. Another thing I want to, talk about the support. We were really very happy during the COVID also. So it was very easy for us to log a call.
Okay.
And engineer was visiting users' home, whether it is in Hyderabad, whichever place. So we were very happy in terms of support.
And so today now,
It
when
was
you...
taking time. It was taking time. It was taking time for everything those days, you know.
Of course, that was a human travesty at a very different level.
Right.
So, Sailesh ji, by that measure, when you sit today and you plan for the future, आपकी ज़रूरतें क्या हैं?
So on those terms, I would say we were already ahead of the time. So
Very
our
nice.
user already worked from home since very long. So we were, it was not new for us. It was already a disaster recovery plan
Okay.
in terms of our policy. So we were already ready for that.
Very interesting. Like you were, and to continue, you were mentioning, so what are your requirements as you look forward into next year and beyond? See, because clearly, Ankit, you've got plans in the safety tech space, and that's going to evolve as it does in its own natural progression of sorts in life. By that measure, what are your requirements that you must have addressed within the next 3 to 6 months that will help you have a spectacular or equally spectacular 2023 and more?
With terms to technology, you are asking? Okay. So for technology, what we should get from the Dell is a good support, first of all.
That's number one.
You know, people are on the remote sites. You know, I'm making order from Delhi or from Gurgaon. My person is sitting in Agra or in Jhansi. So at that point of time, reaching to that person quick is the second thing. You know, the support, sometimes online support, we get it. We get a call back on the same day or the next day. But the person traveling to that place and getting the machine, fixing the
Bilkul.
problem. So, and it's on the remote side again. And he doesn't know what the actual problem is. It could be that it's a simple switch which you have pressed it long and you know it's not working.
Possibly.
It had happened. So that's the two things. If we or if Dell can work it, then it's going to help
See,
everyone.
Dell will do everything that you want, sir. आप सिर्फ बेझिझक ये बोलिए कि requirement क्या है आपकी?
फ्री में लैपटॉप दे दो सर.
Hemant ji, apart from the free laptop, if you could introduce yourself, what are your views? What's working great for you?
Hello.
That's working.
It's working.
What's working great for you? And as you sit in 2022, and I'm sure your planning and strategizing would have already got done to a large extent, what do you look ahead into the future, and therefore, what do you expect from technology to do for you?
Yeah, very good evening to all of you. I'm Hemant, General Manager from Sign Technologies. And first of all, I extend my thanks and gratitude to Dell and Strategic Inc. for inviting us.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Now, I was hearing views from all the participants or the delegates. Yes, everyone is having his own point.
Of course.
And similarly, every customer or the user is having its point of view. That is I think, the strongest thing for the coming years. And this is I think, the strongest challenge for the IT companies or the manufacturing
How do you-
companies. Yeah, just I will elaborate it. We are dealing into the forensics and dealing with the almost 90 to 95% of the government organizations which are working into investigations, digital investigations, police organizations, and defense organizations. Yeah, one gentleman told that security is first and foremost. Yeah, it is there. But nowadays, if I would ask each and everyone that what specification do you have in your mobile, I'm sure that each one of us are having specifications, different specifications with each of our devices.
Of course.
I may opt for RAM, a good RAM. Another gentleman would opt for the high memory in that or storage capacity. And so on. In similar things, the technology must be according to the need of the user.
Okay.
I mean to say that it should have capabilities to customize the products. Suppose I am going to the market or a vendor that please show me the Dell laptops. So you will show that this is this one, this one, this one, this one. They are having some brands and this specifications with a set pattern.
Correct.
But as we are dealing with the customers and they are having concerns over their requirements. So we are so thankful to Dell that during this COVID period, they came up with our specifications
That's
and
interesting.
they customized the machines and provided us. We are so grateful to that. Now, similarly, in the coming years, I'm sure that each customer would be asking for its own specifications. So the R&D of the Dell or any other competitor companies, they must have to think on that point. How we can fulfill the needs of the customer as far as the customization of the product is required. So I'm sure that in coming days, even a small boy will ask, no, I don't want this much RAM. I just want this much memory. Or the other person will say, no, I want this patch of the security. This kind of security I need. So I think this would be the best.
Actually, very
challenge for
interesting
that.
point on customization that you made. Ankit, you want to take a shot at this, didn't you?
I was talking to Meghna and Vipin here from the Dell, and I was telling them that Samsung is having a unique, the Samsung lab, they've started a lab, something, where if you have a device, and if you want only 3 applications to work on it, they provide it that way, from the chipset level.
How?
When you boot it, it will only start with the 3 applications. So that I think Dell, it's not doing, or if it's doing, we are not aware about it. So that's one thing, if Dell can work on it, and it's going to help other people, that I don't want my people to use Microsoft Excel or, I want to customize my designed app only to work on that particular system. So if Dell can give it from the chipset level itself, that only that particular, application will work, it's going to change the customization.
A very interesting point. Ashish, your views on this, sir? We've met before, haven't we?
Probably, I don't
You look extremely familiar to me.
Okay. So Dell, I think the customization they've been doing for years now, because they had those specifications already, and once the customer needed it, they used to ship it with whatever the customization the customer had in his mind, whatever RAM, whatever disk, whatever chipset he required. So that's been done by Dell for years, I think. And Dell, if they can do this customization of, from the chipset level itself, that these applications would work and these won't work, then we can have a broad area between the personal and the office work being segregated, and so there is no mix-up. And it would be an innovative kind of a suggestion to Dell also, and whatever they're working on, it would be a good point to start.
And what else would be your requirements at Data Futurity Solutions, hypothetically? And speaking by and large for the small business sector.
We've been, it's more of a security side we look at it.
Okay.
So I don't know, it's specialized services that there are, VAPT and all, that's the cybersecurity.
If I may be allowed to, how large is your organization in terms
It's not
of?
much. We are under 100 right now, so it's not much on that part. But yes, on the security side, we are doing plenty of things. So if some support from Dell would be there, that would be great to work together with.
Well, that's very interesting. Swati, may not be a bad time to bring you in and loop you into the conversation. We've heard a certain percentage. I obviously haven't come to the rest of you, and I promise you I will. Swati, quite a few points that came out, started with support, and then traversed the whole journey of data security, of course, the levels of customization, the free laptop equally. But it's a great opportunity for, I think, the larger team here, the larger set of folks here, to understand your perspectives, therefore, on how you're seeing this business from Dell Technologies' perspective, chug along forward to be able to help them at the end of the day.
Yes. This is working?
I'm not sure.
That's it? Hi, this seems to be working.
Hi, it is.
Okay. Hey, before I start discussing or bringing things or addressing some of the things that got discussed, I didn't get the opportunity to welcome each one of you to this meeting, so a very warm welcome. This is our first in-person meeting after the pandemic has got over, so very, very special for each one of us. I think we're doing this physical roundtable after pretty much close 2 years.
Yeah.
I handle the India small business, and I took over this role around 1.5 years back. So I was very excited about this very first meeting. I've had a couple of roundtables, but all of them virtual. So obviously very excited. I have my entire leadership team who is based out of Delhi here. So we operate out of 2 sites. We have, I'm basically a strong team of almost 150 folks who work with each one of you across India, with managers and senior managers. So around 60, 70 of them are in Bangalore and an equal amount in Delhi. And what the people whom we have here are our leaders. Shiv is my site leader for Gurgaon. And then we have Ravi and Preeti and I'm Shivali. Where am I? Rahul and where is Gyan? So this is my leadership team, and then we have our top folks who talk to you on a daily basis. We couldn't obviously get the entire 70 people here, then we would have outnumbered you, but we wanted to kind of come and talk to you. So, but we have our top performers here who really work with you very closely. It's a privilege to be with all of you, and to be, and Arjun, I have been kind of making notes like crazy. I have been mesmerized with the way this meeting began and the fact that, our customers are talking and telling us openly about what's good and what's bad. I have been with Dell for 18 years now, and I've been part of many, many roundtables. Very seldom have I seen roundtables which are like this. So, a big thanks to all of you for participating, because I was talking to Arjun 2 days ago, and when we were planning for this meeting, the final planning session, and I was telling him that what I want to, I am, by the way, based out of Bangalore. I traveled only for this meeting. So, I said what I want to take away from, this meeting from our customers is, how can we do better? What is it that is missing, right? Because MSME is the crowning glory for India, right? It's a known fact, with our government talking about MSME, only MSME, especially after the pandemic hit us, the amount of, I would say, steps taken from our government side as well, from across. You read newspapers, it's all about MSMEs and how SMBs and SBs are growing, and how we have, and I keep saying we, because I feel I belong to, I had this business, so this is we, right? So, how we have transitioned in the last 2 years, and hence what I wanted to take back today from this meeting is, how do we change on things that we are not doing. So, when I heard about the waiting times, I was, let me go back and go a little more digging there. That's a little strange. We should not have waiting times in terms of support. Yes, and then other customers for us was telling that there are different kinds of support that we have, obviously priced differently, but it should not be a problem that if you are buying the right level of support, that you should, based on the location that you need support in, right? There's a different support for our metros, and there's a different support package available for T3, T4 sites, right? So if you're buying the right level of support, then you should not have a problem. Let me go back and check on that. Very interesting, the last question that came up, that, can we do something at the operating system level itself, that we we don't give access, considering that so many of us are working from home. We don't really want people to be leveraging the productive time, I would rather say, right, in doing things that is not productive for your org, right? We do have that, and that's called CFI, and this is like for time immemorial Dell is doing. Like I said, I'm 18 years old in Dell, so I can tell you that when I joined Dell as a frontline sales, I used to sell that service 17 years back. So we have something called CFI, which is you can tell us the need. The services team works out a proposition that gets tested first. It takes a good 1 month, because it's a whole process. It gets tested at the factory level, and then you get You get to see, okay, this is how it's going to be. Is it working for you? You say yes. When you say yes, that configuration or that entire proposition gets saved for you at my factory level itself. So every time you place an order, that factory picks up that SKU for you and places, and you get laptop just with that SKU. So it is there, and possible that probably my sales guy wouldn't have thought that it's a need for you, which is why this meeting is going to help us, right? So we'll ensure that my salesperson goes back and to any of you who needs that, that's something that is available. I took the feedback on, CAPEX versus OPEX, and currently Dell does not do it, but what I can tell you is that there is a workaround for it. While we don't do it directly, we have many partners. These are basically system integrators who have been with us for many years and are, and hold platinum and gold partnership with us. That's how we kind of stack rank them. They have this proposition because a lot of large customers also came back with this ask. And so while we might not be able to do this for you, we can definitely enable this for you through partners that we are aware. We recommend them to you, and they get this going for you. So that is also a possibility, not directly with Dell, but definitely indirectly. I would just say, please continue giving feedback. I am making notes. I'm going to take all of this back. We will action this, and the whole purpose, and I keep telling my entire team this whenever I do a town hall, that we succeed, we should be happy when my customers do good business with their customers, right? When you do well and your P&L looks nice is when you will find value in me. Otherwise, it's just about sales. You'll find me irritating if I'm going to call you and ask you, what are you buying, right? Unless I relate to you and your team that what you buy from Dell and how you do business with us makes you successful with your set of customers. And that's the whole purpose of this meeting today. And that's what I want to take back. Thank you, Arjun.
Thank you so much, Swati. Mr. Das, why don't we get you into the conversation?
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir. Question to you is the same, is as you look to unlocking the opportunities of the future in 22 and beyond at TrueMind Software Systems, what is the role of technology that you see playing in ensuring that you're able to craft that in a very sustainable manner?
Okay, so we are a software solutions company. We provide services to different OEMs across the world. I was just thinking when our friends here were talking about laptops, our teams spend maybe 80% of the time on the cloud. Okay, so we use our laptops only to access that cloud. So I would be interested in knowing what type of enablers you are providing from Dell to harness the cloud computing. Okay, so I don't need obviously the computing power needs to be there for some of the things like
some of the more intense workloads.
So intense workloads are obviously on the this one, but when developers are doing some work, they might be having some builds and all those things which are done on the local system and then uploaded onto the cloud. But I mean, the cloud, how cloud computing will be enabled from my laptop would be the most important thing that I would like.
And your, Mr. Das, your journey to the cloud and beyond, how vital a part of it is it to your overall growth strategy?
It's absolutely vital. Everything, I think probably, my boss, CEO, Mr. Rakesh Vijay is here, he can tell. Probably, you can tell the exact numbers. I'm not sure about the numbers, but
you can give him the mic.
So the lion share of our business comes from developing SaaS-based solutions.
Okay.
So which means like these are all cloud-based.
Indeed, sir.
So everything is like you have users who are on the cloud and applications running on the cloud. Only a few things where we need local computing is something like what we call as edge computing these days. So, but that is also coming up, but we'll have challenges for that. We'll see, and when we reach that stage. But right now we see that cloud computing resources are more required. So let's say, if AWS or, I'm taking a little bit more time, like.
Please, please.
So AWS or, Azure is giving you all those things. Can Dell provide something like that from their
And yours is
data
classically
centers?
a public cloud orchestration.
It can be public, it can be, for our development purpose, we can use any cloud.
Indeed, sir.
Okay, so for that purpose, if it can be provided by
course.
Dell or anybody from their own data center, that is fine for us.
Interesting. Rakesh, you want to add on to that? Because my basic and very primal question to you is, as you look to accelerate the growth journey at your organization, you've got these fantastic folks from Dell Technologies sitting here. In the most basest of forms, the question is, what would you want from them to help you succeed, sir?
I'll not answer your question first, but I'll tell you my experience. And
Indeed.
Swati, I didn't know that you were the leader here, but I think I really want to raise this, and there was a crib session going on, but the support has been fantastic. That's a big differentiation, and believe me, we bought HP, we bought Lenovo, and I'm not saying because you're going to offer us dinner, but definitely, the support has been fantastic. It has been all the nook and corners of India, because people were actually, during the pandemic, people had gone there, and believe me, I think there was 1 or 2 issues in this last 2.5 years when I had to call someone, but otherwise it was all seamless. So thank you. Please keep on, doing that differentiation, because that's what, prompted us to buy 150 laptops just recently. I think that's one aspect. The prices have increased, but I think the semiconductors, we all know what has gone, right? So I'm sure, but I mean, you can surely give us better prices. From a technology landscape, I think one of the other things which is there is endpoint security. I believe that is it should not be that I just buy, just the laptop. There is a hardware-software combination.
Indeed.
It should come from one source rather than multiple
Multiple.
sources. Okay, I'm just giving laptops, you have to buy security, and security is paramount. I think it should come from that. You have to increase more of your software solutions, and you can use us as a partner for that. You can give us business reverse. But I mean, jokes apart, that is very much required as we move on. For our, kind of a company, we work in 5G and IoT and AI, ML and analytics. I mean, cloud is absolute must, right? I mean, whatever we do, we call ourselves a cloud-first company. Anything and everything we do is on the cloud.
Indeed.
So I think absolutely that is very much required. I think, but overall, our experience has been very pleasant.
Very nice.
And nothing to crib, and that's what it is, right? So.
Thank you. Very, very.
Maybe one more thing is,
Indeed, please.
and maybe one more thing when you said about the endpoint configuration from the factory, endpoint security part, maybe also the Linux configuration on the system along with Windows.
Okay.
Because almost every laptop goes through that cycle within our company itself to partition and provide some Linux, or the engineer uses his own time to do that configuration. So that could be also.
Very interesting. Aniket Srivastav, you want to come into the conversation?
So I agree with the, sorry.
Swati.
So actually, we need to Linux configuration system in Dell.
Okay.
Because we are working on the Linux, not Windows. So it's very difficult to configuration and again use.
That's interesting. Pankaj, you want to come in and essentially tell us what OG India Packaging Private Limited, what are your aspirations for the future, and how do you see Dell being able to come and help you achieve them in such significant or incremental measure?
Basically, majorly, what I think that the users which they face problem is of hanging issue of the system.
Oh, thank God. You meant, I thought an employee, sorry.
No. Yeah, while using a computer.
Because you said user hanging, so I started, sorry. The hang.
Users. So if something can be done on this, then this will be, of course, it's on user also, like he
but
uses many.
Pankaj, किसी particular specification या particular model में ये होता है, या are you seeing this at a very broad level?
No, not in particular. Whatever systems we have used, we face this problem while using the system.
Achha. But is there any kind of a workload that you're working on? जब ये होता है या?
Not very heavy applications.
Acha, not very heavy.
Yeah. Some Excel files also sometimes get stuck even.
Oh.
This is, so if this can be resolved, I think we can save a lot of time of the employees.
Interesting. Vijay, you're also from OG.
Yeah, I'm from OG. I'm taking care of IT department.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, I explain why happened. Because, when we are using the Dell laptop or desktop, frequently we get the update from Microsoft and Dell itself.
Okay.
That is why I'm saying, before pushing to the end user, they must check their self if better is working or not. Right now, I face one more issue. This is Microsoft issue. That is Microsoft issue. Microsoft release many patches. You can, if you try to check, if you can in the month you can use, you can say 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
They release some patches. I think they are now the technology has changed, so there is some synchronizing issue is there.
Okay.
Right. And the second thing, my question is that regarding the customization, we have some leverage like when we place the order to Dell, then we have option to adopt how much RAM we require, right? Like that.
Yeah.
Similarly, we have to option to adopt the software also, like Coral, like any antivirus, like that. That is easy to user to use the laptop. Because in big organization, it is very hard to implement or download everything. Of course, we have some technology pushing some software patch, but if it's coming from the Dell itself, it is very easy to us. Third one, I'm regularly purchase the Dell laptop. The price goes very increases by 5 to 10% in the period of 2 or 3 months. So please look out for it.
I'll pass on the message. I can't.
I normally discuss the Vipin. Vipin is there from your team. So when I said last time we purchased around 6, this prices was this one. He tell me that now the price is increased. But last month we purchased some laptops. Now saying the price is increased by 5%, 5 to 10%. You have to control all these things.
Interesting.
The frequency of the price increases should be, you can say, justified.
See, I can control the controllables. Now, see, last month, this month, you see 80.4. We've never seen that. What is happening, 8.04. So, all that, when you see the rupee going down and then, the demand supply on the entire, the entire OEMs that we work with, actually, and you spoke about something, I mean, that's the truth. That because, worldwide there is a supply issue and the demand is high because of this entire pandemic and work from home, our entire suppliers have increased their, whatever you see, and somebody said Dell is being greedy. No, we're not being greedy. It is just that what is being imposed in the back end with the components that we buy to be able to finally configure the product for you has seen a steep increase. Hence, as a byproduct, there is so much that we are trying to absorb. And then there is obviously the rest that as a company, see, if you want, and I keep telling my team, right, if I have to run this India SB business, I run the P&L for this business, then I need to be cognitive that, this 150 people that work for me have, we are a business that is sustainable, just the way you feel. So what you see increase, and, the recent dollar thing is something that we didn't expect, and it's really hitting us hard.
When the dollar goes down, what happens? The price also decreases.
Of course, we have passed on the goodness so many times.
Yeah,
to all of you.
Thank you.
Okay, then.
One more factor for the price rise. Because during this COVID period, there was a massive shortage of the chips.
Yeah, indeed.
And you must have noticed not only in the IT companies, but also in the automobiles. One of my friends, he booked a car, then the company told, or that showroom told him that you will get your car after 2.5 months. And with only one key. And duplicate key, you will get after 3 months. Because there was a shortage of the chips and all this. So the prices have gone wherever the chip is being used. All the things there. Yeah, I am totally agreed with you that the rise in the price should be commiserating to other factors also. Yes, that is.
Hey, so thanks for being my advocate, but I'm going to tell you a small story, very small story, and and thanks for bringing that up because my brother is part of Jaguar. He manages the South and North India business for Jaguar, and he was, by the way, just joking around with me, and so he was telling me this Saturday that look here, so Didi, I was telling Jijaji to buy this particular model, and he didn't listen to me, and that model was some 55 lakhs then. That is, we are now currently selling it at 80 lakhs. I was like, seriously? Like, you increase the prices like that? He was like, yeah, that's how it is. The supplies cost have gone up, so what was 55 lakhs then is now 80 lakhs per car, and we are still selling. So yes, it is a reality. It's not only Dell, but anything that we were buying, right? Anything that most of the components that we use at home also, you see the price increase that has happened. Overall, yes, there is a challenge. I can only say that we're trying to cope it up together, right? How do we try to balance it out with you, that because at the same time we want you to grow, we want you to do well, and then I want to run a business which is sustainable, and I take that feedback and we'll ensure that we are priced right. I think that's the right word. We are priced right so that you find us the most viable partner to be able to work with. Yeah.
But on the subject of cost, I'm presuming, Vijay, that you'd also be budgeting the lifetime value of the device. And obviously, the fiscal benefits of amortization and depreciation would also kick in, isn't it? So what you see as a one-time purchase value today is essentially for you spread out in accounting over the next 3, 4, 5 years, depending on how long you sweat the asset, isn't it? Very interesting. Sir, why don't you come into this conversation? And then we'll come to Rahulji. Light jal gaya? No, we've got another one. Yeah, this is working.
Hi everyone, Vishal here from Newland Chase. So basically,
Vishal from?
Newland Chase.
Okay.
So basically, our company is totally for visa and immigration. Right. So everyone aware about last 2 years about, but thank God we are stable in the market and doing good because we work with a B2B business, and even so there are different discussion over the meeting, some about for the technology and some are how we are thinking about the in the future, right? So what I realized, basically I'm from the tech ops part, right? I'm not from the business or development or somewhere, but yes, what we realized, first thing, the person who don't know about the RAM, who don't know about the hard disk, apart from the technology, right? As of now, everyone, the different department user are aware about the things. So I can say they are somewhere have or a good knowledge in the basic technology, right? When they start work from home, when they start from different things, right? And second thing, if I'm going through the Dell, so obviously with my company, I'm from last 2.5 years, and even they have the relation with Dell long time, right? So about the support, we never have an issue about the support because prior to Newland Chase, I was with the Wipro Technologies, SL Technologies, and we have the different client, obviously. We support the Dell Technologies. We buy the assets and everything, even in the enterprise level. So the one thing which I realize here, it's obviously there is maybe the reason behind the overload of the people or different things. Right? What I realize one thing, when we have any hardware order, so why it's Dell giving this 6 week to 8 weeks time, right? Okay. That's the main point because because nobody aware about the pandemic and all, right? So the company has set their IT infrastructure with the desktop level. They immediately have to buy the laptops and everything, right? And that will take a time. So obviously here comes with the security reason as well. When we ask for time being to use their personal laptops and something, right? So is there any, Swati from you, is there any way to reduce the delivery time? Because obviously, because taking the follow-up from a Dell, Anjali will taking care about, right? So this is the major concern, and Anjali is much aware about that because, the few of time this is happening because the delivery part, and the second from a finance only, when we need any tax invoice or something, so sometime we need to chase 10 days, 15 days or more than, right? So why this is happening? Because, in every department have the month end, they have the taxation, everything. The finance taking follow up with IT. We provide these invoice and everything, but we have the 10 chain mails, 24. Why this is happening there? Apart from that, I don't think there is any problem because we find the support, we find any end users level support, with the hardware level, that's fine. But these are two things basically because at the end of the every department have a question from the different department. We have the immediate hiring. We need the hardware. Obviously, today we have another 30 lakh order today only, I believe so. Right, Anjali? So every week, I can say every month we have a 30 laptop, 40 laptops, 60 screens, everything. So what we want the expedite in the delivery time, basically. Because we are just in the Go Work 108 only.
Okay.
We have a 200 plus seating capacity, and we are going forward to more and more hiring. So we need the one thing only, the delivery time. We need because
And
after
apart from
nothing.
delivery time,
Yeah.
if you had the ability and the opportunity to ask for a blank check in terms of what you would like from Dell Technologies to help you accelerate forward, what else could that be?
Okay, so second thing, when we have received any laptop and a desktop from a Dell, so we need to customize with obviously these things already going on, discussed, right? So what we obviously we gone through a bit local, that the Microsoft part, right? So if we gone through the end user point security level, we are using the different software. Obviously, company have to bear the cost for license and all that. If Dell will provide these type of things, so obviously we can be gone through, because obviously when we place the order, we think about the costing, we think about the hardware configuration, we think about different things, right?
Indeed.
So obviously, so these are the things. If obviously answer we already have from Subhati, you are providing the things, right? But that type of things, what type of if Dell have this secure in terms of security measure, did Dell have any antivirus or anything which we can provide? Because obviously they have a different updates. Because I'm totally agree with the person who said the hanging issue, definitely. And one more, I want to add the heating issue as well, if anybody has, right? Because sometimes this is happening. Even they do not using even over the web browser website. These things I observe.
So it's hanging as well as heating up.
Issue. The fan noise is so high. But when we check in a for time, the memory or the RAM utilizes 85%, 90%. The person only using single website. So does this somewhere with the hardware configuration level over that they'll have to, I think so.
Good point. And if we could go and ask the rest of them before we bring in Swati and the team. Rahulji, what's your view?
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon.
You are from Holysys Automation India.
I am from Holysys Automations, and we are into automation business like DCS, PLCs, SCADA, HMIs, and we basically deal with, we trust this brand, and our customers also trust Dell. And as far as support is concerned, we always get a good support from Dell. And till date we have never faced any sort of problem with Dell. Yes, there are some times when hanging issues or heating issues are there. Sometime configuration goes like this, one application is there and still a lot of heat dissipation is there. And one thing moving forward, I think the securities should also be included in the package, because this is really required by the customers these days. Also, I think just like sometimes some laptops are there, if in case they are stolen, there can be a sort of app something from which we can trace this is the IP address, and it is.
Oh, the remote kill switch, you mean?
Yes, exactly. And also from that app only it can be logged in or logged out.
Interesting.
Yeah. So these are small things. I just have a
But do you
thought.
have a recurring problem of laptops getting stolen? I hope not.
No, it's not a problem, but our engineers go to site and sometime they leave the laptop somewhere. They work late nights, and sometimes their things get stolen also. So it was a thought.
Sanjay ji, from Atrio Technology, what are your views? Hi.
So, I'm into sourcing part. So, so as already have discussed, so sometimes I feel, I faced delivery time is high. So
Delivery time is high.
Yeah.
Achha.
So I don't know.
Otherwise, you're happy.
Yeah.
And you look happy also. Rohan.
Yeah, I'm taking care of IT part in the EdTech technology.
Okay.
Yeah, my problem is with the Dell for the delivery timing.
वो तो हो गया.
They will take care the 4 to 6 months, weeks.
Weeks.
For to deliver a laptop, and almost the second is issue is there, heating issue is there. We are facing the most of the fan is they are providing the good spot, very good spot. We are closing they are closing complaint in 3 days. Lead time is 3 days only.
Okay.
And the most problem is coming with the heating issues. There
Okay.
are fan issues there. They will replace, but there is a issue with the heating only. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
And what would you like more if you had the ability to ask for anything?
Ask anything to increase the security levels.
Okay.
This point is already taken care. The customization of the laptops as per the customer requirements. What is the requirements and the software levels. If we can have the laptop with the pre-installed softwares and antivirus and security levels, that will be good for the customers. That will reduce the cost for the customer as well.
So, Rohan, I'm curious, just help me with this. Is when you're sitting and planning for the entire year, do you sit with your representatives from Dell Technologies and plan out your entire year in that sense?
That's not happening. Actually, we are just in a services company.
Mm.
We are providing that CapEx to OpEx services. From Dell, we are purchasing from the Dell and providing the services to our customers for the rental and direct part. So we are doing that part only. So we are expecting Dell to deliver the systems and laptops on times in 1 or 2 weeks only. So.
Gotcha. Interesting. You want to come in, sir? We don't have your name, but if you could introduce yourself.
I am comes from ICCG. I am a IT manager. My name is Sesnath Gautam, and I am happy with Dell. I am working with Dell last 14 years.
Okay.
And all is good. But one more concern,
See?
One more concern is that if you buy one laptop, suppose that 1 lakhs amount is up, and with pro support with 3-year warranty, then why you are not providing some battery of 3 years, no? Because
Sorry, come again, sir, please.
Suppose अगर हम लैपटॉप 3 ईयर के परचेज करते हैं सपोज
Correct.
प्रो सपोर्ट के साथ एडीपी के साथ, बट उसमें क्या होता है बैटरी का हमें सपोर्ट नहीं होता, 1 ईयर का ही सपोर्ट होता है.
अच्छा.
इतना महंगा लैपटॉप परचेज करते हैं तो उस केस में हमें 3 ईयर का भी प्रो सपोर्ट मिलना चाहिए. आई थिंक सो.
Actually, good point.
मैनेजमेंट को बाद में बैटरी के लिए ऑर्डर करो, सपोज खराब हो गया, देन वी आर वाई आर परचेजिंग बैटरी विद इन 1 ईयर, है ना. 1 ईयर तो सपोर्ट मिलता है, उसके बाद हमें 2 ईयर का सपोर्ट नहीं मिला, तो उस केस में हमें मैनेजमेंट को एग्री करना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है. यार 5-4,000 बैटरी फिर उससे परचेज करो न्यू ईयर, तो वो प्रॉब्लम है. उसके लिए फिर फाइल लेके आगे पीछे घूमते रहो बॉस की, सर ये अप्रूव कर दो, 5 बैटरी खराब हो गई ये, फिर तो उसमें बड़ा मोस्टली हम लोग को प्रॉब्लम होता है. तो आई थिंक दिस इज रिक्वेस्ट, आई थिंक वी शुड बाई बैटरी सपोर्ट ऑल्सो ना विद.
Shiv, you want to take a stab at that?
लैपटॉप बैटरी है ना.
No, this one's not working. This one's not working.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Shiv. I manage the Gurgaon site. And first of all, thanking everyone, spending the time here. It's been what, 2+ years where we've been used to am I audible and am I visible. Okay, so it's so nice to have everybody at one place. So really appreciate all of you. Got a lot of feedback, and I'll come to your point after this. Got a lot of feedback, and you can be rest assured that the feedback that you've been,
absolutely,
all the feedback would be taken in, and we can't promise that everything would be resolved. Okay, that would not be the right thing to say. But for sure is that we'll work on each and every, especially that I've heard on a lot of things on the CFI part. So Swati also mentioned on the CFI, it's basically called the custom factory integration. Okay, and I think you're working with Meghna and Vipin. So, and I think I had heard a few more. So we'll address that part also. We do that, okay? Regarding the battery issue, yes, we know there's an issue, okay? I would not say there's an issue. I think there's I would put it that worldwide, okay, depending on the life of the battery, okay, that's how it happens in the entire globe. But I think I'll have to get back to you with whether we have a certain option of doing something better here, okay, or we have any kind of a package that we can offer. At this point of time, I don't think we have, and I'll be very candid here, okay? We don't have at this point of time. But let's see if I can get back and see what we can do apart from that. But what I'm very, very sure, it's about the lifetime, life of a battery, and it's a worldwide norm. It's not that, just Dell does that. But let me get back with more details on this one. Yeah.
Thanks, Shiv. Mr. Bish, you had wanted to make a couple of points. Oh, sorry, please.
So, see, when customer ask our sales spokes for any configuration, and then sometimes they have a price conservation also. I'm not sure whether all of our salesperson, they educate our customers, especially about the battery, because he has raised this. So we do have the option of upgrading the battery warranty also to 3 years.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we do have the option. Definitely, I will talk to you after this conference.
Okay.
So we do have the battery upgradation offer.
But
Obviously, there is a price,
It's already is offered or not? Is already in support or not?
So
it's optional.
So it's optional, yeah.
Okay. But
So
I think anybody did not offer me this type
yeah,
of
maybe
offer.
somebody would not
I
have
am
educated
using-
you, but
Okay.
we do have that option, and I will definitely connect with you after
Thank you.
this.
Okay.
Oh, we've got a long evening ahead. Don't worry. You'll have all your problems solved.
Okay.
Bish, sir. ये फिर नहीं काम कर रहा हाँ आप कर रहे
See, two suggestions. One is, as far as security is concerned, there are options in the higher-end laptops, but what I feel it could be integrated in all the models where there is a hardware-level security which is already inbuilt, which takes care of your most of the security requirements and gives you rid from regular antiviruses. Because if the hardware part is hardware part can take care of the changes in the files and everything, then I guess the security issue will also be taken care of. That is one. Second part, when Sony Vaio used to be there,
Okay.
they used to have one-touch recovery. Something like that would be very useful for an end user instead of accessing the IT professionals and others. If there is a one-touch recovery, they can just push the button and the things get recovered to different levels, like a factory level or a user level. That is the second part. Now, the last one, as far as the support is concerned, see, for a general laptops, there is no issue with the support. But when we go in for the higher-end laptops, let's say precision higher-end laptops, which are costing almost 1.5 lakhs plus each of the laptops, in case certain components like motherboards or the screens go bad, the replacement times are at times up to 4 to 5 weeks. And you can't expect a person to keep on buying laptops worth 1.5 lakhs just to keep it in stock. So that's where the support is lacking. That's the only area where I'm emphasizing again, for the higher-end laptops, certain components are not available in Dell for a long time. I have faced the problems, and I know people, others who have also faced the problems.
Interesting. Thank you, sir. Please. This evening is all about all of you. Yeah.
So I thought of using this opportunity to inform Swati also. So we were using, Rahul is aware of it. Before we were using 5.4 series of laptop, and afterwards we are using 3.4 and 3.5 series. And really we are fed up with 3.4 and 3.5 series laptop. Again, the heating, hanging issue. A few days back I spoke with Rahul, said no 3.4, 3.5, anymore. So what is the option available for us now? We have already bought all those laptops. They are not working up to the mark. What plan Dell has in these cases? That is one. Second, I also wanted to inform, sometime happens, people from India traveling to US people are traveling to here in India. Do we have anything called, global support model for Dell? Is there anything we can opt for? I'm not aware of. And logging a call, getting support is not a difficult. Once call is logged, it will be done in 3-4 days, whatever time SLA is. But getting the call logged takes much time. And since it is a small business, we have very small IT team in most of the companies, and we are already technical persons. When we are calling them, and they ask so foolish questions, they force us to do lot of diagnostic, lot of other things, which takes hours to log a call. So we have to, plan. When we have 3-4 laptops, we will spend a whole day and log the call. So if that something can be done on those lines.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Salesh. Ankit, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. So I've also used Apple laptops
Okay.
earlier. So one good thing what I find, which if Dell can also implement that, and when you go above a particular RAM or if the heating is high, it automatically, without you interfering, it shows you the what it is called. Uh, no, the temperature is there, but the taskbar, where it shows that what all processes are running, when you do Control Alt Del. So, and it will show you that you cannot move further. You have to kill few of the processes, and then you can move further. So, if Dell can also work, or if they're doing it, I'm not aware about it, because I'm not seen, again, in the C series laptop, it's not there. So,
Okay.
if in the higher end it is there, then it could be. But the laptops what we are using, we are not having that. So,
Interesting point. Thank you. Sir, coming back to you. See, we've had this conversation, fairly expansive one, around the whole concept of laptops, devices. One important superhero in the room that's not yet been discussed about is also the server. Ah, lovely, sir. Then you have the floor. Hey, bhai, this is... Acha, nahi, green... Ah. No, check. Ye le.
I'm not using any laptop from Dell, not desktop. I'm a server person. We buy only servers. And I'm sorry, Mr. Abhay, you're talking about the Dell laptop supports. I'm not aware of that. For servers, we have priority support from the Dell side. I'm talking about a Dell servers. But on one more important concern is Dell have some delivery issues. Right now, I'm waiting for my 2 servers to be delivered. That is booked on May. And at the time of the booking, I don't know why your team is not aware that these products are not delivered on the time.
What was committed to you, hypothetically, at that point?
They don't commit.
Oh.
Because it's a pandemic situation, and we work with the Cisco also. Cisco give 1 year commitment. If you book 1 year of the product, they give you 1 year time to deliver the product. And a certain more customers like Rista, Solar Flare, they don't deliver. They call, they ask, reply, we will deliver in 2023. So I'm not blaming Dell, but at the time of you booking the order, you must aware that you have the part. You don't give us the excuse, sir, we don't have the part. We have a shortage. Because once we are buying a product, आप ये समझिए कि आप मेरे से 10 लाख रुपए लेके बैठे हुए हैं, 3 महीने तक आप होल्ड करके बैठे हुए हैं, you don't pay credit to us, you ask for the front-end money to book the order, to execute the order. But instead of taking care of customers' requirement, you have excuse, sir, अभी product नहीं है हमारे पास delivery नहीं है. We have a shortage of some products. Or a very surprising, the product that is short in for that server, उसके बाद हमने 2 server का order और दिया, उसके बाद वो जो पहले आ गए, जो product नहीं आने चाहिए थे, वो अभी तक नहीं पहुँचे हैं. So that is very surprising.
Yeah, that's an important point that you make. Anybody else with points on the server aspect?
Yes.
Oh, please, your mic's next to you.
Actually, the spare parts of the servers are very costly. Once you buy the server, after 6 months or 1 year, if you want to increase the RAM or storage capacity, very expensive.
वो तो सर पूरी जिंदगी महंगी हो गई है अब तो.
नहीं, अगर मान लीजिए आपने एक 7 लाख का सर्वर लिया, it has lots of hard disk, good RAM, 2 processors. After 1 year, if you ask to increase a few storage space, then only 2 hard disks will cost you around 1/4 price of the whole server.
I can.
You have to negotiate. You have to negotiate with these guys because they अब आप फंस चुके हो. अब आपके सारे चाकू तलवार सब निकाल के लेके रहेंगे, पीछे भागे के तुम भागो.
In case of server, customer has to buy expensive. Secondly, we faced delivery issues during pandemic times. For laptops also, it goes up to 90 days delivery. I asked the management to keep at least 5 to 6 laptops in the safety stock, as there is delay in delivery.
Give us an interest, return interest.
But practically, I have started keeping 7 to 8 laptops as a safety stock for new joinings.
It makes absolute sense, isn't it?
At the end of the day, पिटाई अपनी होनी है. By management.
Very important point. I will not dispute that. You, sir, happy with this?
One more thing.
Oh, please, please.
With the battery issue, I have experienced one more thing. Previously, the battery was outside the laptop. It is removable.
हाँ, जैसे पुराने ज़माने में होता.
Now it is fixed inside the laptop. So when it was outside laptop, if it is not giving adequate backup, some users can manage. जिसको जरूरत नहीं है, वो चलो आधा घंटा भी चलती है तो मेरे लिए ठीक है. अभी क्या है कि it is fixed inside the laptop, और during after some time, few months, it starts swallowing. वो अंदर से फूलना शुरू हो जाए कि आपका टच पैड ही नहीं चलेगा. You have to buy. आपको बैटरी बाय करना ही पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज आप टच पैड नहीं चला सकते.
समझ गया.
तो मतलब why it is moved inside the laptop? Just to increase sales or?
मुझे डांट रहे हैं आप तो. But I am sure there's a perfectly valid reason. Mr. Bisht, please, sir. Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
See, as far as the battery is concerned, yes, battery is an area of concern, but most of us have a tendency to keep the laptops plugged in.
Yeah.
Because of it, see, every battery has a charging cycle.
True.
You plug it in for a second and you remove it, your one cycle is gone. So if a person keeps the laptop plugged in properly, and when it is fully charged, you remove the charger, I'm sure any of the batteries would give you at least 2 years of life. That is one. That's what I have been practicing. Second, as far as this gentleman's concern is concerned, that the battery gets swelled and it gives you problem. That also, most of the time, it arises because of overcharging. Yeah. Because it is not, even though there is a safety feature in all the laptops, irrespective of the brands, that once the battery is fully charged, it should stop charging. Yeah. But that doesn't work properly. So the current keeps on flowing into the battery, and over the time, it gets swelled and creates different problems.
Interesting. Thank you, sir, for that. And anything on the server aspect?
Server never faced a problem.
Oh, lovely. Servers. No problem. Oh, you're on cloud completely. Servers, happy, sir?
Pretty much happy with the servers.
You don't look very happy saying that. Yeah, please.
So coming to the server side, we are a very small startup. We have just started a year back.
Okay.
And we primarily are a security company. We are currently working with the defense and the government organizations. And in the server part, yeah, on the support, I totally agree. We are very happy with the service. As far the spare part goes, whenever we order, essentially we are a very technically advanced team in that sense, because we are working on a multitude of projects ranging from automation, AI, and also we are partly working on a hybrid cloud setup.
Okay.
So primarily of our operations in the cloud, but since there are multitude of flexibility that cloud provides, but as the notion goes and as we are in the security part of the things, predominantly majority of the things you'll like to have on a on-premise setup.
Indeed.
And that's why we are largely expanding our server setup. We are actually building our own virtual private cloud, and we are expanding on that. And for that sense, still the products and the service is good. But for that end, what we as a company, or what our requirement in the future is, affordable servers with particularly focus on the networking infrastructure. For example, if today I buy a Dell server of in the price range of 4 to 5 lakhs, that is how you rack up your servers, right? So in that particular domain, if I want to have a NIC card that is having a bandwidth of say 1 GB per second, that is doable. I can find that. 10 GB per second, I can still do that. But if I go to the mark of 100 GB per second, and in certain use case scenarios, as we progress in the technology, as data expands, as we have more and more data, because we are a company who is largely working on data analysis and data mining for big data, okay? And when you move across your whole cluster, across servers, then you have a use case where you need high-speed network things.
True.
So that was just one thing I wanted to add in the server line.
Very, very important aspect. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Switches available of that?
Sorry, sir?
Are the switches available of those speeds?
What?
Network switches, are those available?
Yeah, network switches are available. Cisco is already providing that.
100
yeah. Yeah, 100 Gbps. That's actually more of a specialized kind of switch. Also, in that, Juniper is also providing.
Interesting. Swati, we're also kind of winding it down. But for a lot of you folks, I'd like to have Swati spend a little time on the whole services aspect and how you, as partners in progress, can work with them, confabulate, collaborate together to help each of these folks plan a more expansive journey. You want to talk about that for a bit, Swati? This one will. You'll have to switch it on.
Okay, so there are a couple of things that I wanted to cover, right, for the last 20 minutes or so. I will not go customer by customer, but I'll, in general, because a couple of you had common, I would say, issues that you brought up, right? So let me begin by saying that what I'm clearly taking away today by listening to most of you is that my sales teams need to have more conversations with you because how the whole thing is panning and coming to me is maybe we were in pandemic and we are doing a lot of mailing, and because I have come from grounds up, and I always teach my salespeople, always pick up a phone and talk, because it matters when you talk to the customer and understand, right? You would have probably sent a configuration over email. For a salesperson, it's always, they want to revert fast. So to generate a quote based on what you have sent is good. That is also required, that you get fast reverts, because that's also one of the feedbacks. But what I'm clearly seeing here is probably lack of conversations from some of my folks, and I think, yeah, that's something that should not have happened, and we'll definitely get this fixed, because for most of the things that you were mentioning, the options are available, right? Like, I heard at least 2 customers saying that, you wanted those security softwares. That is definitely available to be attached. The only thing is that, everything is not offered as a base option when the quotes are sent, because not every customer would want to pick up that. With every component that you add, prices keep going up. And one more thing that I realized, as I heard most of you, is that the journey of each customer in their growth graph is very different, right? Somebody's needs are very different. When Dhruv was talking, then the needs of True Minds is very different from what need of somebody else is. That's for us to understand. That's not for you to bother that where are you in the journey, right? That's for Dell. That's where Dell comes to the picture, that how do I understand where in the journey, and for my salesperson to understand that, okay, aapka need kya, and that cannot be understood over an email for sure. right? That comes to me as a core belief. I'm a very orthodox salesperson, so it has to be over a conversation where they understand. I think so we'll have that fixed because at least on this side, most of the things that you guys were saying, like about warranty, about the normal basic, somebody was saying ki, you want that security software to in the laptop so that hacking guys should, all of that is available. So we will ensure that our sales folks, I'll ensure that I hold a town hall after this when I go back and we communicate this to our salespeople, right? That they tell you all the options and then you pick, like he was saying, right? So his needs are very different. So you pick, okay, these are the ये 4-5 चीजें इसमें मेरे company के लिए मेरा ये need है. This is important. Somebody was talking about stealing. So then you pick what you need. Maybe that is something that is missing today. We are probably going faster in terms of conversations and moving ahead. Maybe we need a little more detailing. So that is something that's for us to fix, and we'll have that fixed. And you will definitely start seeing, you will start hearing in the very first go that how many options can be attached at the time of ordering itself. You don't have to really bother later ki, and you were right, somebody was saying कि यार मैं तुमसे laptop लूँ और फिर मैं फलाना से एक software vendor से ये खरीदूँ, वो correct. I mean, in fact, our value prop for years together is we are one-stop shop.
Yeah.
How can we cannot absolutely, it's not a happy moment for me to hear this from my customer. He's saying that कि मैं तुमसे laptop ले रहा हूँ और 10 लोगों से और बात कर रहा हूँ. The whole value prop of Dell across segments, I'm in SB now, I was handling commercial for many years, is one-stop shop. We are all about one-stop shop. You just don't go anywhere, right? So we'll have that fixed. And on the same lines, I just wanted to add, when Juba, you were mentioning, the needs of high-end tech talk that you really need and do. We have a technology specialist team in place. Just that team, and by the way, that team, we strengthened that team in the last 1 year, right? After, pandemic hit us, we realized that, the needs of customers were going up and, and customers like you who are a little higher in the curve, right? Your needs were very different and very advanced. And, I have, we have, in the last 4 months, we have hired 5 high-tech specialists into my org just to address your kind of questions and the products that you need. Now, what I think is, how do we quickly connect you and get you to talk to those folks? Because I'm not really sure if the conversations with those folks have happened, right? These are senior folks that I have hired. Need to go back and check what are they doing if they're not talking to you, because I have definitely hired them only for doing this. So that is another thing that I have written that just want to tell you, right? If you are in the beginning of your curve, and we have our salespeople are equipped enough, and then they have, in the technology team also we call them pre-sales team. So we have a basic sales team, and then I have a pre-sales team. Pre-sales team is only supposed to be helping the sales team on technology know-how and configuring the right servers, and they are only to do with servers and storage, right? So we have, and we have that team, and then we have specialists who gets into the picture when it's really about your, infra which is going higher. So I will get that going. We have that team in place. I just wanted to assure you कि लोग सब चीज़ों के लिए हैं. Maybe they have not been talking to the right customers, which we will ensure that we get that going. That's second. Third, there was a lot of discussion on the delivery lead times, right? Now, there are 2 things that I wanted to quickly tell here. One, that the lead time, actually 3. One, that the lead times which were 2 months and above, couple of months back, has drastically reduced. If I were to draw a graph, and I don't have that slide that I would have shown you, in the past 3 to 4 months, our lead times have improved much better from where it was, let's say 6 months back. 6 months, I can only tell you that we are still doing better than all our competition, right? And we're not supposed to be taking names, so I won't. But my major competition, I can put my badge here and tell you that we are doing better than them in terms of sourcing material. Now, this is something which is a worldwide problem, and hence those kind of lead times. Which is why the second point is I tell my sales folks always that talk to your customers and ask them what's their plan for the next 6 months. Every customer will always know. Right, all of you are running companies, right? You're running major roles in your companies. You will definitely know what your company wants. I know what I want my SB team to do for next 6 months or 1 year. For that matter, I'm making a 3-year plan. So how would you not know? That clearly gives an idea to my team that, okay, if you are looking at this kind of growth, that will require you to hire 20 people, then what is upcoming, right? That kind of helps us to give a backwards forecasting to our internal teams, which helps in improving lead times to a little more, better extent. Plus, you obviously, my team working closely with you to ensure that, maybe the way we used to place orders earlier where things were available in 15 days, it's not available anymore, and we know it, it's a reality. Okay, how do we, place orders for, a near future, which takes care of, some of you said you kind of keep 5 units in stock. That's one way of doing it. Let's say you don't want to do it, then still, planning little ahead of time always helps, and that's for my salesperson to do with you. That's not for you to do. If that's not happening, we should get that going. And third, and very important one, we have been adding a lot of models to our India factory. This entire Make in India thing is obviously big for us, right? Yeah. All of us, our government has been propelling it. It is important, and as a result of that, the number of laptops that we used to produce in India factory, the models, has gone up significantly. In fact, 5000 series, sir, one of you were talking, right? We never used to produce in India. We started doing that 4-5 months back. The lead times of any product, any laptop which is produced in India is significantly low than the ones which come from the Penang factory, right? So again, just informing you, but it is again for my salesperson to offer you the different models and to tell you, देखो sir, these are the options. ये India factory laptops है, इसका इतना lead time है, ये Penang वाले इसका इतना है, and that's the level of configuration or workload it can hold. And then, like I say, you have the authority to choose what you want to go for, right? So that you make the right choice. Also, in continuation to that, a lot of discussion on heating issues, which I'm not really sure, because trust me, I can tell you, our the quality of laptop cannot be that poor, right? I can vouch for that. So I think it has a lot to do with the workload that you're using the laptop for, and the laptop that is, I will not say you're buying, I will take it on me that you're being sold. Okay, so I think time to look at, for example, a customer who is using a 5 series, if you will come down to 3 series, your users won't like it, I can tell you that. Because that's the level, it's 3, 5, 7, right? Depending on the workload that the customer has, right? Somebody who's used to 5, and if your workload was meant to be handling by 5, 3 will obviously come at a lower cost, but it's not about cost, it's about the workload that your company is running. And I think it's important to understand. And like I said, now this again rolls back to the conversations that my team needs to do. That can only happen over talk. You can't explain over email what your workload is. So that's another one. And give me 1 second. Tax invoicing taking time is something that definitely shouldn't have happened, and definitely not 20 days or 30 days, or it just takes 1 day. So if it has happened, then it is clearly a miss from my team. It definitely is not a process flaw, I can tell you. It's not a process flaw in system. The process doesn't call for a customer to be chasing my team for 20 days for tax invoice. Oh, absolutely not. So anyway, I've made a note. This will not happen again. This will not happen again. This is clearly a miss.
You must, after this, when we are networking, you should.
Invoice, so copy, it's with my finance, with the collections team. They should be able to give you, if not 1, then 2 days. Definitely not 30 days or 20 days, right? We spoke about, give me 1 second, I'm just scanning through this so that I just cover some of the common points.
In the meantime, Swati talks about, so on the laptop heating issue, let me tell you, my perspective there. I use the Latitude 7 series, and I started facing heating issues, major heating issues. I didn't realize why it happened. I went to my IT and realized that whenever I used to work from home, I used to face these issues, and this is reality, right? And what happened is, because I was using it on my sofa, on my bed, and I was not giving it proper ventilation, that was happening. And that is just my case. I'm not saying it happens everywhere, but it is.
But that's an important aspect.
And now I've rectified it, because I've been misusing it.
No, that's a very, very important insight.
Yeah, these are things that happens to you work from home. You don't even realize.
Yeah,
some of things that is hurting.
It's a casual way of sitting on your sofa or your cot, wherever.
Indeed.
Placing it there. It happens. It is common. Our IT had given an instruction to the employees to avoid doing that.
Oh.
Yeah, in fact, the best part that happened in this meeting is the amount of best practice sharing.
Indeed.
Right? Like somebody had a
Isn't it?
problem which somebody else is not having and they quickly pitched in. So I just really want to thank because of the people who were pitching in and telling that, you know what, this problem is not going to happen if you're going to do this. That's really nice of all of you. And one last thing, we were talking about this Q&A being painful, right? About logging support. By the way, there is a support offer that is that there are customers that we know that we don't like to go through Q&A process, and there is a support which is a level above, which is for those customers who don't want to go through Q&A. So again, I think my sales guy needs to tell you, because हमें पता है ये बात, क्योंकि कस्टमर्स आके बोलते हैं हमको नहीं सुनने का, ये तुम मेरे को बेसिक चीजें बोलो, ये ऑन करो, ये ऑफ करो, राइट? तो जिन कस्टमर्स को नहीं सुनना है, then we know there is an offer for them that you directly go and you say, okay, come and solve it, and I'm not going to do it. So I have taken note. Like I said, I have taken a lot of notes today, and this is a very meaningful meeting. There's so much of talk, but then we really can't keep talking all night. We didn't call you for this. We called you for having some good conversations, some good times together, and hence back to you, Arjun.
Thank you so very much.
Here's the last thing. I didn't want to cover that conversation saying that these meeting issues don't happen. It's not about putting a blanket, but still, if some of you are facing issues, do let your account manager or consultant know, so we can rectify them, look into that, and what exactly is happening.
Thank you.
Maybe there's a fan issue or maybe there's something. So let us know.
Thanks, Shiv.
I totally agree with him because building is...
Absolutely. But sir, you'll just have to give me a second because we are at a finite point of time. But please do carry on this conversation after this. That's all from us here at this table, folks. We've got a great bar that's already going. Please feel free, welcome to join us for a couple of drinks. And then there's going to be dinner. And everybody from Dell Technologies is going to be here. So please feel free to mingle. Sir, you must take up your point. And but before you do that, if you notice in front of you is your name card, right? The tent card. It's got a barcode on that. My request to each of you is to kindly scan it and give us feedback, because your feedback is important to us in helping ensure that each time that we collect to talk to you, we're making sure that each of you enjoys that as much as we enjoy putting this together. And on a lighter note, of course, my salary depends on how nice and kind and generous you are. So please be adequately generous. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful talking to you.